If you're watching this video, it means your peaceful backyard has turned into a midnight playground for some unwanted furry guests. Today we're talking about rats. You may have seen the droppings. You may have noticed the carnage they leave behind. Chewed hoses, chewed bags of grass seed, fertilizer, or items you're storing in and around your backyard. Hey, chances are you may have even locked eyes with these scurrying rodents in or around your patio, looking for any food, water, or shelter. I'm Trapper Tony. I've been removing rats from clients' backyards since 2012. Watch this video, I'm gonna show you how to keep rats out of your yard for good. Now, setting some traps in and around your property from the hardware store just isn't gonna cut it when it comes to rats. Rats are very smart, they're highly adaptable, they have Neophobia, which is a fear of new things. When it comes to eliminating rats, we have to be very strategic, have a plan to keep them out for good. By the end of this video, you'll have a professional step-by-step guide on how to deal with these unwanted rodents in your backyard. And stick around to the very end. I'm gonna teach you the one thing that homeowners do, the #1 mistake they make when it comes to dealing with rats. They're actually attracting more rats to their yard rather than dealing with the ones in and around the property. Step number 1, what the pros call the inspection phase. In order to beat the rats, we need to think like the rats. Where are they going? Where are they traveling to? Where are they eating? What are they eating? And where are they living? Rats don't just operate and move through the middle of your yard. They like cover, structure, food, water, and shelter. Now, when it comes to rats, in the inspection phase, we need to consider 3 main things: burrows, runways, and rub marks. Now, when it comes to burrows, you want to check all perimeters, check all structures, all patio stones, concrete slabs. What we're looking for is undermined soil or holes in your lawn or property about 2 to 4 inches wide. These subterranean creatures will dig out and burrow a hole to reside in. If there's fresh dirt around a mound, you know there's active activity with this location. Rats are creatures of habit. When we're looking for runways, we're looking for areas where the ground has been matted down. This could be in mulch, grass, or in your backyard where they continuously travel along this path. It's clear there'll be a depression in this movement and migration from these rodents. Check around the perimeters, decks or sheds, or around thick brush where these rodents will travel for security and safety purposes. Rats typically have oily fur along their bodies. When they utilize a path or migrate through a small area, oil transfers from that fur to the area in question. This could be along pipes, fence lines, or into tight little holes or areas. You'll see that smear, that smudge. If you found the rub marks, you found the runway, you found the highway, we know we have active movement from these rodents. Now that we know where they are, we have to cut off their lifelines. If your yard provides a 5-star resort experience, they're never going to want to leave. We do this by eliminating the 3 big S's: shelter, sustenance, and source. Save this video for later where we show you this chart eliminating the big S's on your property. The first S being shelter. Trim low brush piles. Elevate any wood piles 18 inches off the ground. We want to eliminate any shelter or areas where they'll find harborage to breed and multiply. Secondly, sustenance. Use heavy duty trash cans. Secure pet food, bird seed, fertilizers, and even grass seed. We don't want these guys getting into any food sources on the property. The third being the source. Eliminate standing water. Fix any leaky outdoor spigots, and make sure you don't have any spillage for any over bird seed or overfeeding of other wildlife on the property. Now, these exterior bait stations are fantastic. They lock with a key, keeping children, pets completely safe. Inside, there are metal rods where you can secure the bait of your choosing, or actually place baited snap traps inside. The rats will enter through the sides through the small tunnel. They feel safe because it's enclosed. It'll either eat the bait or set off the trap inside. Now let's talk about bait when it comes to rats. Most people assume that cheese is the #1 source or option for utilizing bait for rat traps, but it's not. Rats are typically looking for high fat, high protein sources. This could be peanut butter, hazelnut spread, or even a piece of a Slim Jim. If I'm going to be utilizing snap traps with a tier 1 bait station, I'll use these easy set rodent bait station traps. They fit right inside the bait station itself and can be enclosed for safety for any people, pets, or untargeted animals or species. Trapper Tony tip number 1. When it comes to the bait stations or even the rat traps themselves, we don't want to engage the traps or use non-poisonous bait options. Rats have Neophobia, which means they're terrified of new things. We want them to get comfortable and used to these objects in and around your yard. Once we know they've gotten used to these stations and snap traps, we can set and engage them. Then boom, in one foul swoop, we'll get multiple catches, multiple feedings on the poisonous bait inside. Once we've knocked down the rat population in your yard, we need to focus on entry points or sealing off holes so that new rats don't move into this vacant real estate. This is what we call exclusion. Now, when it comes to rats or even mice, we need to consider their entry points. Rats can squeeze through anything the size of a quarter, or rodents like mice can squeeze through anything the size of a dime. Sealing or isolate any entry points for rodents, we want to use strong products like steel wool backed by silicone, spray foam, or even any strong construction adhesive to make sure we keep these rodents out for good. Now, if we're utilizing expanding foam to seal any holes or entry points around the property, we don't want to use it on its own. Rats and mice can chew right through it like cotton candy. First, what we want to do is stuff that area with some steel wool, copper mesh, or any metal that rats can't chew or break through. We can back it by the expanding foam, ensuring we have the area secured and prevent any entry from new rodents coming in. If the rodents try to get through the expanding foam or even the silicone, we have the steel wool in place. If they go to bite or scratch their way through, they don't like how it feels and it deters them from entering that area altogether. Now, as promised, the number 1 mistake that homeowners make when trying to deal with rats in their backyard is applying loose rodenticide in and around the property. Not only is it illegal, but it's also very dangerous to any untargeted people, pets, or unwanted animals on the property itself. Now, you may think by placing this bait inside a burrow is safe. However, the rodents will have to move and migrate through that burrow, oftentimes removing the bait or pushing it up to the surface. Any unwanted animal, wildlife, or pets, even young children or people will now have access to this bait. It's incredibly important to utilize rodenticide in locked bait stations under lock and key, ensuring that only rodents can come and go and feed off the bait inside. Securing the bait inside these stations and considering safety as our number 1 priority is critical. By inspecting our yard, eliminating food, water, and shelter, utilizing the best possible tools like bait stations and enclosed rat traps inside those stations is the ultimate way to keep these unwanted rodents away from your home or property for good. Sealing any minor entry points with a combination of steel wool and any sort of sealant helps eliminate these voids in areas where other rodents may try to travel in the future, giving you that long-term rodent eradication. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. If you have a question about your yard, leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to @PestPro+ for useful nuisance, wildlife, rodent, and pest tips. I'm Trapper Tony, keeping your yard pest and rodent free. We'll catch you on the next video.